called King B, or King Breaker, as people know me as. So I'm still based in London. I love London. I never leave London. The best place on this planet is the way I see it. That's just me. That's just me. I first came to Sweden in, I'm sure it was in '85, at a place called Freeze House. Yeah. Now, when I came, I was asked by two guys, Stamus and Nico. They asked that King Breaker must come to Sweden. So I'm thinking,
who the hell are these two geezers wanting me to come to Sweden? So when I came, I stayed at Stamus's house, and basically, when I was going to Sweden, I thought, these people are not going to know me. Why? I'm just a normal breaker that breaks on the street. But I can tell you, when I actually got to Freeze House, I was absolutely shocked at the people that knew me as King Breaker. It was like, I don't know who was anybody there at that 85? Okay. But it was sold out. It was absolutely sold out. And basically, I absolutely demolished that place. Demolished it. I brought power breaking to a new level to Sweden. That's how I felt, because that's how B-boys are. If you're a B-boy, there's no one better than you. Even though there may be someone better than you, but they weren't never better than me. But that's how you have to be. So that's my little bit of how I came to Sweden. So I'm going to pass it on to Anthony. And obviously we're going to speak a bit more about my journey through Stockholm and Sweden and my journey through hip hop. So Anthony, you ready for this? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Anthony Edwards. I am the locker from London who mixed two styles, actually three styles. Before I knew anything about hip hop, I knew about London club dancing. I mixed the club dancing with what we call locking. And there's you might have heard of the Nicholas brothers. Yes. The Berry brothers. Yes. They're the best in the world. They influenced me so much. So I grabbed these three styles and mixed it into one. And today you call it London locking. I'm going to say my name again. Anthony Edwards created
London locking.
Anthony Edwards created
London locking.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Put your hands together again for my baby. Okay, my name is Gary Beckford, aka Leaf Nuts. I've been living in Sweden since '86. I came here first to a release party of the Michael Jackson record called Bad. Anybody remember that record?
Yeah.
Okay. And it was an IDJ party at an old club by the name of Dio. And I fell in love with Sweden and Stockholm. So I stayed, married, many kids later, blah, 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 blah. You know how life goes on. And I've been here on and off, mostly here ever since then. And been teaching at Freeze Huset. Had a rap line there with Damon and Aaron. Anybody knows?
Yes.
We've got a couple of students around the place here, like DJ Patu, and there's another one here. I'm feels bad that I forgot his name, but there's another one here anyway. And also, I was dancing with Damon at Bebop. We had a group called Magic E. We were street dancing here in Stockholm since '89 up until maybe 95, 96. That's when I stopped dancing and gave up dancing. But I'm still here doing my thing, making music, growing up my kids, taking care of business. Nice to be here tonight. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're invited because you have
influenced the dance scene. Can you say anything special about that directly? That how King B was on it a bit. That both Stamis and Nico got influenced by you. And Stamis and Nico, for the ones of you who don't know, is the founders or the dancers of Throwdown Rockers, who then later on became quite significant in the dance scene in Sweden, also in Europe a little bit. So, but can you also point out what did you influence the dance scene here in Sweden? Do you know? I mean, Anthony, you lived a long time in Copenhagen.
Yeah.
And not only you, but your group, then Out of Control, influenced also Sweden.
Split second.
Split second. So yeah, just want to pass that question to you. That what do you think is your major impact to the dancing here? All of you, not only, but yeah.
No,
Go ahead.
talk to
Anyway.
you, not me.
Major influence, I would say
Boy, I'm hot.
character. I would say character. Character explains a lot when you dance. If you're a shy person, I believe that you will express that in your dance movement. Me, I wasn't shy. And I was out there. I was a very outgoing person. I loved to dance, you know. Dance to me was something that was so personal that, you know, I would get angry if you talked wrong about dance. That's how dance was to me. It was something personal inside of me. And I think, yeah, my influence to Scandinavia was the fact that before I knew about hip hop, I knew about London club boogie dancing. I have to express that because that's where I came from. And shout out to Paul Trouble Funk Anderson. Yeah.
May you rest in
May
peace.
he rest in peace, yeah? Because he was one of the best dancers on the block. A little bit older than us. I stole every move from him. Sorry, bro. And like I said, I mixed the styles. And I think that influence just resonated through me. And living in Denmark, living a little bit in Sweden, getting to know the culture a little bit and the people, I think, you know, I think my character's a little bit different to a Danish person and a Swedish person. So I think my influence is character in the dance and how I express that. Would you agree? Would you agree with that? Thank you very much.
At least I could agree because I know what you come from. I know what we had here before you guys came, and I know how it changed. So I totally agree that character and expression.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love what I saw when I came to Sweden. I love what I saw. I like what you were doing. It reminded me of the early days in London when we were learning, you know, coming up the ranks. We were learning, you know. But we were influenced by America, but we also had a chip on our shoulder because we're from London, yeah? So we want to do it the London way. Do you understand? So, yeah, again, and that is part of the character. So I'm here today expressing with the Swedish way, I guess, you know, and I hope that I've made some kind of impact in Swedish hip hop. I do. I really do. Thank you.
Okay, so my influence, which I think I am, the breaker that I turned out to be was I was a power breaker. I hated footwork. I was not interested in footwork at all. Just power. That's all I was interested in. Now, my sort of like idol back in '85, you all heard of the Rocksteady crew, yeah? Right. They weren't my idols. You're New York City Breakers. So, Icy Ice. He was my idol. This guy had so much power, but it was uncontrollable. So, what I thought is, if you could control his power and control every move, then there ain't no one that can beat me. That's how I saw everything. So I studied this man from top to bottom. So he was my idol. So as you've got, I don't know how it is now in today's breaking and what they call it, but we had twisters and we had power breakers. They were the two. You didn't have any other name. It was a twister and a power breaker. Does anybody know Pervez or Pete from the Live to Break? Nobody does. Okay. Well, me and Pete came together when there's people know London All Star Breakers.
Somebody in the back there.
Anyone? London All Star. Okay. So that was the crew that I was in from London. Now we were the UK's supposedly top breaking crew. Now I'm going to tell you a little story. New York City Breakers came to the UK and they were at the Royal Opera House in Covent Garden. And London All Stars had the privilege of going to that place and seeing them perform. But there was a bit where we went backstage with them and we were practicing with them. And there's a move that I done. Now, this might cause a little bit of a hoo-ha. But you guys today, all the new breakers, all the new schools, they do this with their eyes shut. It's like nothing to them. But it's a backspin and you pop out with no hands. Okay? It's an absolute, they do it today with their eyes shut. But back in '85, no one was ever doing it. And I was, and I'm going to state this and I'm going to put it down here now, I was the first to ever do that move. All right? And if you look at electro rock, it's done in the video. That's '85. And I done that in front of New York City Breakers. And they could not believe that anybody could do that move because all the power came from your head and your neck. So for me to do that in front of Icy Ice, who I looked up to, was just unbelievable, you know. So when I came to Sweden, my job, I felt, was to bring a new style of power breaking to Sweden. And I think when I came, I did, because certain people were amazed at what I could do. Nowadays, I mean, I look at these guys and I'm thinking, you are not human, because some shit that they're doing, it's just phenomenal. But I suppose 40 years ago, people used to look at us and think, what the fuck can they do? How the hell can they spin on their head like that? And how can they do this? So, look, that was I felt that that's what I had to do to come when I came to Sweden. And it was, I mean, it was the best time of my life for me performing in front of you. Some guys I hear now may have been there, but the power that I brought to Stockholm, I feel, changed Stockholm, the B-boys, in a power way, if that makes sense. Because the next time I came back, I saw people doing what I was doing, which was my power moves. We call them biters, but you know, if you want to bite, I did. Yes, and you can take big chunks. I don't mind, because all I see is someone biting. I see that's me. So that was my influence and how I felt. I came when I put put my little tick to Sweden.
It's an extension of you.
So yes.
Gary,
Yeah.
you mentioned
Yeah, I was gonna take off.
the whole story also with Damon and Bebop.
Yeah, I was gonna take off from that because the question was, what do I think my impact was, or our impact was? Well, I would say when I was dancing with Damon and Bebop, we was doing it on the streets. There was no clubs, there was no battles, because we used to battle in London. But when I came to Sweden, we was dancing on the streets down in Segel's Toy, just up the road from here. And I remember one time, Damon, because not only when we performed, when we was out in the nightclubs the night after, and I used to dance the way I used to dance in London, which was boogie,
Club style.
jazz, and I mixed it with the lock-in and the pop-in. And Damon used to ask me a lot of times, like, how do you do that? Where's that move from? And that move and that move. And it's funny that you asked that question, because I'll be watching a lot of the youngsters, the next generations coming up and how they dance. And a lot of those moves, I'm recognizing them. I'm like, ooh, I know that one. I used to do that one. Anthony used to do that one. What it is that it showed itself later that they are Damon and Carl Dial. Anybody know Carl Dial? These students are students of their students. So the influence that me, Damon, and Bebop, myself, and my brethren Anthony here, passed down generation to generation. So that is what I would say is an answer to your question.
Yeah.
You know, because I recognize a lot of the moves that they're doing. And it's from what we used to do.
It passes on. I mean, that's the beauty of it.
Naturally.
But a lot of that, that's why you're here today. A lot of that foundation is actually put down by you. And of course, if it would not have been you, maybe someone else. But that affected a lot of the dancers that came around here, me and others in my generation, because you came as a good flavor. And if we did not have you, then I don't know what would happen. Maybe a lot of us would have stopped, because you came with a flavor.
I don't think you all would have stopped. I think it would have had a different form, a different shape, a different style. But I think, you know, dancing is something you can't stop. It's a natural thing. It's gonna come out regardless. So I feel very proud. You know, like me and Anthony, we've been discussing it. You know.
Before I give some questions to the audience, I want you guys to tell me something that happens after those first years. One story from your life that happens after that. I know what you did also from origin from Stockholm. You can tell that, for instance. Anthony also. I mean, you have some stories that you could just bring us. I mean, I guess you could talk for hours, but we don't have that. But at least you could bring in some experience of what you have done after those first small steps in Scandinavia.
I could say straight off the back, I did a few tours as a backup dancer for an artist in Sweden at the time by the name of Titio. Anybody heard of her? Yeah. Okay. Also, a guy by the name of Daniel Holgren, aka Papa Dee. So we did a few tours up and down around the whole of Scandinavia, actually, on the back of the dancing. And this was like, I gave up dancing maybe like 3-4 years after that. But I would say that was a big influence and experience for me.
I know I have you on video on Swedish rap championships '92.
Yeah.
Because then you were performing with the Papa Dee.
Yeah.
Then he was not part of the Swedish championships of rapping. Latin Kings, I think they came third. Infinite Mass came second. I think it was, I don't remember the name now, who won. But '92. Then Papa Dee and you performed on the stage.
Please send me that. I have not seen it. Thank you. Go ahead.
One more. Okay, what did I do after my wonder years in Sweden? Well,
Alban.
so I had a friend that I kept in contact from '85, Dee Dee, and I got a phone call many years after asking me to come over and dance for Tot Alban.
Excuse me, I didn't hear that.
Didn't quite hear that.
Didn't quite hear that.
It's my life.
Yeah. Dr. Alban. So she said, Dr. Alban needs 2 dancers. And my exact words were, Dr. fucking who? Who the hell is this man? Oh, he sings Hello Africa. I'm like, what? Hello what? You got to remember, I'm a London boy. This is, I'm hardcore hip hop, and all of a sudden I've got a. So my views was, yeah, okay, let's go. Let's go for Sweden for the weekend. Not knowing that Dr. Alban was absolutely going to blow up with It's My Life. And from there, we travelled. I mean, it just went everywhere. And I thank Dee Dee for that, because it made me see the whole world. And I thank Dr. Alban, as much as I'm not a fan of his music, but some of his big hits were quite catchy. You can't take that away, you know.
Okay.
But one story he did, I'll tell you now, and this never happened. Dr. Alban gave us some costumes. Fuck me. I said, I am not wearing them. They were some tight, yellow. I said, no, that's it, I draw the line. I was struggling to dance with the girls. That was even, but to wear them tight things, I said, nah, we got this time, doctor. That's it. So I just let you know, you'll never see me in a video wearing tight things for Dr. Alban's video. So if you do see someone, it ain't me. So I just let you know. So that was my experience after my many years of breaking. So yeah.
Nice. But what you told me also before is that always, also when you did with Dr. Alban a show. Yeah.
You mean my little 10-minute break?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So Dr. Alban used to go off for 5 minutes and change. And the dancers were left on stage to freestyle. So after Dee Dee, it used to be just me and the boys. Well, me and Toye, the other dancer. So I used to say to Toye, bruv, you ain't dancing. Leave it to me. I will do the shit. Because it was the only time I could do my breaking. And the bigger the crowd, the bigger my head got. I didn't care. That's how I was, you know, because the way I looked at it, these people are coming in to see fucking King B, not Dr. Alban. That's how I thought. And this is my break. This is my moment. And I remember a show in South Africa, and it was in the Standard Bank Arena. There was about 7,000 or 8,000 people there. And I remember I walked on stage, and I said to the other dancer, you watch this next 10 minutes. I am gonna tear shit up. And I remember when Dr. Alban went off, I done this crazy move, and then the next morning there's me in the center page doing this move, and Dr. Alban was pissed because it wasn't him. And I was like, well, doctor, what can I say? It's my life. So, you know, that was my journey.
Nice. Anthony.
Yeah, influences afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, you were around with Steen and the other guys. I
Yeah.
know you have
We did,
something nice to tell.
So in Denmark, we did 2 years of television work. We did every artist that came through. Queen Latifah, we danced for her. Kool and the Gang, we danced for them. There's too many names to remember. Everybody, Mantronics, anybody that came through to that show, we were the house dancers at the time. And then I got a phone call to come to Sweden. And there was a show called Pop Stars. I don't know if anybody remembers that. And I became the dance choreographer for that. I had hair once, believe it or not. And yeah, I was the dance choreographer for, I think the group was called Supernatural. And I done all the choreography for them. And the song went to #1, believe it or not. and Herbie made a good bit of money out of that. I worked with Warner Records. I did a few other. Do you know Aphrodite? Aphrodite, yeah. I did the choreography for them. Do you remember the song "Never Let It Down"? Down, down? I was the one who did the choreography for that. That's why they won. And there's a bunch of other people that we did dance choreography for, and I stayed. I only came for 6 weeks. I ended up staying for 4 months, but something incredible happened. I met a beautiful woman, and I married her. So that was the greatest thing that happened for me after dancing.
Beautiful. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we have some questions from the audience. Manne?
Please don't be me.
Hello. Okay, so I was the generation taught by Caldell.
Aha.
So, and basically, I would say I'm part of one of the generations in Sweden that went on this almost like crusade of finding out the roots of all different dance styles. So I was interested in locking, and there was people in breaking, house, and all these different styles. And in Sweden, it was really like a big boom of information during 2003 until 2007. How was the scene in London specifically during this time? Was it also like this boom of people trying to find the roots of all dances, like it was here in Stockholm and Scandinavia?
Well,
But in London, we always
to
did
be-
that, man.
London. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the hip hop world in London. It faded very quickly.
Yeah.
And we drifted away. I mean, I was talking today, I stopped breaking in 97. Some people weren't even born then, like, you know, I'm thinking, fuck me, I sound old. But the thing about, and this is what I brought up, and this is what I really want to express is on the hip hop world, is that a lot of this younger generation have forgotten. You know, we're not asking people to bow down and pray in front of us, and you know, but we just want them to understand that the Gen 1s are making these today, or what they are today, and hip hop in London just, it flatlined. You know, it went dead for a while. Actually, I thought that there was no breaking, and then all of a sudden it started to come, and I think it drifted over to more of Europe,
Yeah.
where London had stopped and gone on to other things, you know, because London is fast. Everything's, we're starting the next one. Where I think Europe seemed to take it on a lot more and appreciate a lot more. But what I think Europe has forgotten is people like us. And we've got so many stories that we could tell you what it was like, you know, us being on the streets, saving our little money to buy a bit of lino in the carpet store, going out, getting chased by the police, trying to bust to get a little bit of change so we can have some McDonald's, because they'll only just come out. McDonald's only just come out then, you know. So, you know, it's all these little things and how we used to battle. That's what I really would like to explain to these young kids that of today, is that things have changed, and I get that, I understand that, I totally understand that. But if they listen to our stories, they're crazy. Going into clubs and taking out B-boys because they come from that area, and we want to turn you out, you know, and it's drifted away. As I said, I can only stay for London. I don't always like in you because these guys stayed here. I didn't. But it went dead, and it's like, who's King B? Who's King B, mate? I'll roast you back in the day. I was like, you know, it was like that. It was like that, but it is flatlined. It didn't pick up, and I still, even today, I don't think breaking in London is as big as it is in Europe. That's my opinion. I don't see it as much. Whenever I watch it and see it on the TV, it's more of European breakers or Japanese, or it's more that than it is people from London. I don't even think they were in the Olympics, were they? Was London in the Olympics breaking?
No.
I don't even think they were. That's how dead London's got. So yeah, so that's the answer for me anyway.
Culturally, I feel that, especially in Scandinavia, the money that the councils or the government put into art and to try and, give younger generations something to have to do, that was much more than ever in London. The Arts Council in London put on one show, remember? You
TLC, what's it?
UK Fresh put on one show. I think that was '86.
Yeah.
Can you hear of another one? Yeah. So the money in London's tight, bruv. It's really tight. They're not trying to. They should put more money into cultural activities. In Scandinavia, we noticed that they were doing that much more. Hence the reason we decided to stay, because we saw that there was opportunities here, dance opportunities. So that's the answer to your question.
And to add to that, I would just say that, since I stayed here, I don't really know more apart from what King just explained as far as London was concerned. But here in Sweden, I would say that, just to second up what Anthony just said, is that the government even opened a school which was dedicated to basically hip hop, which was Free Zuse. With Anders Karlberg, anybody heard of him? May he rest in peace. And the rap line, the hip hop line, he used to get over acts like Run DMC, Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane used to come here kind of often. So just hip hop as a genre, entertainment and the dance styles flourished here, and it was backed by the government. So in that respect, I kind of experienced that over here in Sweden, if that pertains to your question. Yeah, cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have a lot of questions. That's why I didn't laugh. No, but I'm so curious. Coming from London and having that club scene in your experience, how was it in the 80s and early 90s here in Stockholm? And for you, how was the DJ culture? How was the dance culture? Was it performances? Was it ciphers? How was the experience coming from somewhere where I guess it was more alive than it was here, but maybe I'm wrong because I was not there.
I wouldn't be too sure about that, more lively here than there, or the opposite. You mean it's more lively in London? No, I actually experienced it more lively here in a slightly different way, because in London, we used to spend a lot of time, we actually battled. I mean, I don't know how much, there's a lot of the iconic way how hip hop is perceived back then was that instead of fist fighting, we would pick our skills
That she was still going to
and
fight.
solve disputes and so on. Yeah. So that's what we used to do in London. So over here, we would do something similar, but it would be in the clubs. And we got into many a scrap because they couldn't handle us dancing. So they reverted back to violence. So that was my experience. Sometimes it was positive, sometimes negative, but it was what it was. So you want to add something?
Just to add, in regards to ciphers, in London, when we made a circle, you respected that circle. You only go into that circle if you can do the damn thing. Otherwise, you and whatever dusty move you got, go away and stay away. You had to, there was a more, I'll tell you, for me, Scandinavia never really had that. London did have that. There was something about, okay, if I'm gonna go into this cipher, I gotta make sure that they remember me, you know? I didn't really so much feel that here, but as time progressed, I started to slowly see it coming here. Now you have to be sharply dressed. Now you have to be sharply danced in Scandinavia. And that's a beautiful thing to see. But London was more about that from the get-go in regards to ciphering.
Don't listen to them. I'll tell you how it was in London. Yeah. I'll tell you it was. For me, it's like Jodeci and Boys to Men. Yeah, you've got the road Jodeci, they're ghetto, and then you've got Boys to Men who, no, we do it like this, this, and this. In London, it was like you step into a place and your whole attitude. I'm going to put it like this way. This is what I explain. When I go to school, I'll come home from school and I'll put my b-boy clothes on. Yeah. So we had a Pacific style, so you could identify us. Yeah. And the time I put my b-boy clothes on and I put my belt on, I am now Superman. There's no person can beat me. And that's the sort of attitude we had in London. So when I came to Sweden, you could imagine my attitude was, oh, these boys, they're fucking gonna get it. They don't know who's coming. And that's that. And I remember going to a place in Cafe Opera, is that?
Yeah, Cafe Opera.
And I remember it was early days. And I walked in and I saw these breakers and poppers. And all of a sudden they got the circle. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm gonna destroy these boys. Watch, I'm gonna take them out. And they went down on the floor. And if he was here, I would have looked at him straight, because I remember his face. And you most probably know him. I just forgot his name. When you get old, you forget. So he was on the floor and they were breaking. And I thought, poor boy, he's gonna get it. Because I'm King Bree. That's how I look at it. And I'm King Breaker. You're not better than me. And I went on that floor, and no word of a lie, when I went on that floor, I done so many moves. He never went back down on that floor. And that's how it was in the UK as well. It's like, we do the moves so you can't come back out. You ain't coming back out. And we identified, this is what I was explaining to you the last time I was here, is we like today's B-boys and B-girls, I mean, they're wearing £100 shoes. I used to wear my shoes, I used to take them off, put them in my bag and put some crusty piece of, if I'm gonna break, and but my belt was my identity. That belt and me, it was our identity. And I would stand like that with my belt hanging out like that, as if, yeah, you fucking know, this is me, that's how it was. London had a big attitude. We thought we were the best at everything, of course, So, yes, it was very different for me as a b-boy. I don't know what it was for you.
No, it wasn't like that.
No, see, poppers were different. All this. It's all that fucking pointing and that. We just cleaned the floor. That's all we did. That's all we did, So yeah, I think it was a complete different when we came to, because Sweden didn't know the London way. We used to go from club to club, from town to town to take out people. Oh, London All Stars are in the room. Shit, we better not break. And put fear in them. And it literally was like that. We used to put fear. Oh, King Breaker's here. Shit, I can't go on the floor. And that's how it was. So, yeah. It's better than theirs, isn't it?
En till? Någon mer?
He's so hardcore. No, what was that?
One more.
But it's kind of related to what we talked about and what I asked. Because I mean, in Sweden we have this old classic thing that's called jante. And I don't know if all of you, I think,
Is that Jantelagen?
you know, jantelagen.
That don't work in London.
So, oh wow, it's so loud. Yeah, I'm just curious, like in because I can feel sometimes still, and all through my journey, then when I'm going to the clubs and I get down and I dance, it's like you said also. That is like people can't handle the dancing, and I mean in relationship to other dancers, of course they're curious and they want to learn and get inspired. But how was it in to meet like the normal Swede audience in the clubs, and also for street performances? How was the reactions when they got to see you get down in the way that you did?
It hit, you know. Go on, T. Tell them about it, T.
Go on, T.
Go on, T.
Tell him.
Tell them, mate.
Tell him.
Tell them. I know you got the answer for this one.
No, I don't. But the reaction that I got was like, wow, who's this guy? I want to be like this guy. That's what it was for me, you know. But we put, I think we gave Sweden a little boost on how to be like street. Because when I got that, I didn't think Sweden was street enough. You know, there wasn't the hustle and bustle like we had. You know, a big mixture of cultures all over the place. You know, you've got Brits, you've got Jamaicans, you've got Africans, you've got
Every culture you can meet.
every culture is there. Japanese, Chinese, you've got them all there. So it was a real hustle and bustle in London. Everyone's fighting for themselves. But when I came to Sweden, I was like, this is brilliant. Everybody's so nice, you know. So for me, yeah, that's how I feel when I came. That's the difference. And they appreciated. I felt that Sweden appreciated us more. You know, they were happy to see us. Where when we perform in London, they're like, yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, what's he gonna do now? Yeah. So you know, it was like that for me anyway.
I can tell you because all our Swedes, we didn't get the jobs. Who did? Who got the jobs?
Not me. They had Dr. Alban.
No, but of course, if it comes two guys from London to do the show, the Swedes thinking, let's take these two guys from London. I mean, yeah, that's how it was.
That's that Jantelagen. That's that Jantelagen thing. It's just
Attitude.
It's just the attitude, like I said earlier. It's the character. And London, if you grow up in London, I don't know, has anybody been to London here? Has anybody been to London? Well, you might have heard the word, oi mate! I mean, the culture's rough. You know, I grew up hearing the milkman say, hello darling, how much milk do you want today? I grew up like that. London ain't no joke, bro. It's rough and tough, yeah? You gotta know yourself. So imagine coming from that environment to Sweden. I'm in Hazard. And the way we dance as well. Okay, part of hip hop culture, I don't like to dwell on this, but part of hip hop culture is that rather than using violence to solve some kind of dispute,
Yeah, I said that.
we used dance, as you said earlier. So I hope that answers the question somewhat. Yeah?
Yeah, I think you covered a lot of the topics. Nice.
And also, just to finish up, I would say that a lot of the times when we did get into a situation where we did a show in a nightclub, after the show, we started to get attention from the fairer, and their guys didn't like that. So that's where we used to get into scrap, because that's my girl, that's my this, that's my that. I just danced.
I know what he's talking about.
He's hanging out here,
Trying to
trying
hot man
to
up
get
and
to know
thing.
me. I'm not trying to get to nobody. I got my girl at home. I got my babies at home. But they didn't care. They just wanted to fight us. You know what I mean? And that was very unfortunate, but it happened. You know, so.
Cool.
Culture.
Did I end it on a sad note?
No,
No.
I need
Is
to
that
ask.
sad?
No.
I want to ask a question to the big girls.
Okay, we got questions for you all.
Go on, see.
I've got a question for the new school. Can you identify who is a b-boy, a breaker, or a breaker girl, or who is not, by the way they look? Can you identify them? So if you walked into a hip hop club and you saw whoever, could you say, that's a breaker, that's a popper, that's a breaker, that's a popper? Could you identify them?
When you see.
I tell you what, 1985 to 1990, I could walk into any club and find he's a b-boy, that's a breaker, that's a locker. And a lot of breaking today, don't get me wrong, I love it. I love watching it because, as I said, some of the stuff that these people are doing are insane. It's not human. That's why I'm thinking, how the hell is he doing that or she doing that? But this is my own personal opinion. I feel that hip hop, as in the b-boy world and b-girl world, they've lost their identity, as in, I'm a breaker and I can see you're a breaker. That's me. It's like a ballerina ain't gonna put on baggy trousers and the fucking cap turned to the side and said, right, I'm gonna do this and that. They're not gonna do that. But we had that identity of our belt, our puffer jacket with the fur, our cap turned to the side, our fat laces. You just knew who we was. But I think that's lost in the world of today's hip hop. You know, you're all fascinated breakers, don't get me wrong, I watch you guys all the time, but I just feel that this part has really, for me, drifted away. And it would be nice to see the new school bring back that culture, you know, because breaking for me is beautiful. I think it's amazing. But let us have a little bit of culture and style. So you've answered my question now that there ain't really, and that was one of my questions. So.
One more question. Last one.
I'm not sure if this is a question, but I just wanted to say something, Kimberly, because you said something, maybe they've forgotten us or a little bit like that, and I think you're wrong. Because,
I love this. This is like talk battle.
Yeah, because when I was starting out, I started around 93, something like that. And the thing we heard everywhere, the kids, it was like two mystical dancers that had inspired like the Swedish scene, and it was Perverse and King Break.
Fantastic, man. Fantastic, man.
That's amazing.
Glad to hear that, man. Glad to hear that.
And for me, when I watch you dance, because I actually haven't seen you dance so much, but I saw we made our own jam called Avalanche 97. And at that time, there was a guy, Sandro, that came with his crew up to Umeå back then, was far up north. And he had fresh 97 caps, like from the jam, fresh 97. Maybe you know this jam because you were there.
Stop dancing.
I was there. I was there. I was there.
Basically, it was, and then we had a little. I get the chance to see the tapes, footage from that event. And for me, it was like, okay, so now I see the puzzle. Because it was clear to me that the hook styles from windmill hooks, and that was Icy Eyes, maybe inspired a little bit about that. And then it came for you, and I saw this same movement in b-boys like Jan One, and also in Jerker.
Guy right back.
And shows up, yeah. So it was really special because I saw like the whole like inspiration that came to my generation, and it kept that way because we didn't focus so much. If you look down in Denmark and things, they focus a lot about head spin movements. A lot we kept it ground power and footwork, and I think it has a lot to do with Paros and King Break. What I want to say.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you.
I guess he won the battle then.
No, I'm not finished. Sweden, yes, because I was here. So I left a big trademark. Everywhere else, we're not known. You know, the name gets thrown away. Sweden, that's why I've been here so many times with Stamos and Nikos, you know. It's because I noticed here, but not trying to blow my own trumpet in the breaking world, but you know, we were very high up. In me and Purvis, we were two different types of breakers. If you know Purvis, he was more of a twister, but he was very good at twisting. Very good, the best I've seen. And I was the power breaker. And I'm the best I've seen. Really. You know, but we everywhere else. I tell you what, I done a judging about, it must have been about 10 years, 15 years ago. No, 10 years ago. And it was in London, and there was a couple of crews, and there was a London crew. They thought they won it. I told them they didn't, right? And that's my own crew, not my personal crew, but that was my own London lot. And they were like, oh, why didn't we win it? What? Because for me, there was no start, mid. I always think breaking should have a start, middle, and finish. Your presence when you come out, on the floor, and then your exit. That's how I see it. And they didn't have that. And do you know what the guy said to me? He goes, who are you anyway? I was like, oh. And that's the sort of thing. That's London. Who are you anyway? And that's why I'm saying that they've just forgotten their history. They don't know nothing about us when we're the ones who've given all the sweat and tears. No, not tears, I actually didn't cry, but sweat. You know, so yeah. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know.
All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Thank you. A round of applause. There now will be ciphers on the dance floor downstairs, and I guess some of you guys will have a lookout to see who will be the cipher king, cipher queen, and yeah, just hang around, do some dancing.
Special prices. It's a special price, right?
There is.
Yes,
there is
King has a special prize for the one that can be cipher.
There is a special prize.
It's a special prize.
Do you want me to tell you what that prize is?
Award.
Do you know what the price is? Oh, you know? Okay. You're not getting it. Oh, unless you impress me.
No, but I don't know. Shall we announce it, or what is the price?
Special price.
Special prize.
Special price.
Yeah.
Keep it like that.
It's a very special price because
Don't commit.
I'm not committing,
Okay.
Trevor.
Say.
It's very special to us.
For all the hip hop.
Yeah.
It's something you don't give.
At least it is something to put sweat on the dance floor for.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100.
So I want you to do that. I mean, enjoy your evening, and thanks a lot for the guys. They are staying a while, so
Thank you
give them
too.
some
Thank you very much.
questions if you have.
No, we just want to say thank you very much because I'll speak on behalf of everybody here. It's been at least 2 to 3 generations, right? We haven't been prominent on the dance scene. You guys have. So thank you for acknowledging us in whatever way you have done. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job.
Yeah. Actually, Jakob. His name is Jakob. What did he say? In act.
Take that phone, walk off with it.
It's right. What did he say? Because
That's mine and his.
he impressed here. So in Denmark, for instance, they started directly, with all the people. As soon as the French guys and those guys came up with, crazy moves, no breaking, crazy man, yeah, and spin, jump on your hand, yeah.